Yep, they have to do that. Our people don't.
This by far is one of the saddest stories that I ever had to cover. Now you're probably looking, wondering who this man is. If you're from the Tampa or Florida area, you know that this is rapper Rollie Bands. Well, he was killed. That's right, he was killed just recently after he posted this message on his IG. He put a lot of these ends know where I live at for real. I sleep in peace. If a N wants smoke, I'm at my crib in 5 minutes. Now, after this message was posted, somebody came and they actually shot him in front of his apartment complex out there in Tampa, which I think is Hillsborough County, Florida. Right now, they pretty much said that they responded to a man being shot in the IQ apartment complex down there in Tampa. They said it was noted that by the police that the alleged shooter had already left the apartment complex before police had arrived. Rollie Bands was taken to the hospital with a gunshot wound. He later passed away. Now, he was a rapper, obviously, with a promising future coming up through the ranks of the Florida area by way of Tampa Bay. And I will say that it's very, very sad because as I was scrolling through his Instagram, I got an opportunity to see that he had a young daughter, and he put a post up in 2020, and the post said something like this, like, this is the only person that I live for. Now, for the people listening that may know him, you might want to turn it off now. I'm not going to be disrespectful, but I'm going to keep it real. He made a mistake. He made a tactical mistake, sort of like the whole Pop Smoke thing. And, it's one thing for people to, okay, people may know where you at. But now when you start inviting people to come where you're at and you got real enemies, you just can't do that. You got to be a little bit smarter than that. Regardless of how you feeling, regardless of the muscle you got, it's just certain situations. I always say certain things are best, you know, unsaid. Even if you know, look, I got the muscle, dude try to come over here, we gonna get him. You ain't gotta say it, man. We gotta get back to the days where privacy, where people not knowing where you are, where people not always seeing you on Instagram. We gotta get back to that. Because it could be anybody. It could be just any, it ain't gotta be, it could be anybody who say, my ops want to come get me. Okay. You never know. That's the thing we're dealing with when we're dealing with the social media aspect, and you got a little bit of fame, you got a little bit of notoriety. The unseen hand is always there. You never know who knows where you're at, who's watching you, who wants you dead, who wants to make an example, who wants to rob you, who wants to steal something from you. You never know. My motto is to act like everybody feels that way. Even if it's nobody, I'm acting like it. Like, okay, yeah, I'm going here. All right, I ain't posting shit up. I'm probably post when I leave. Now if it's somewhere people know you're going, that's a certain thing. You know what I mean? But it's like you don't antagonize your enemies. That's like if you about to go into a fight, or even a football game. You don't give the enemy bulletin board material. You don't say I'm about to whoop their ass today. You don't give them any. You don't give the enemy any extra motivation to try to beat you or take you out. That's something that these guys got to learn. I'm just so sad to hear that this happened to him. And I don't know what type of beef he was in. I don't know what type of ops that he had, but it must have been something serious for somebody like, all right, shit, we're going to show up and do this thing then. I'm going to be there in 5 minutes. And then he was like, man, it's sad, man. Very, very. This is sad. A lot of stuff you cover, but just looking at it, I'm like, this definitely didn't have to happen. But I always say, and that's why when people that watch this channel, I know a lot of them are a little older, but we do have a younger demographic as well, right? And I mean older, I mean, 30s, 40s, 50s, people that have been through some stuff, right? But the younger people that listen, take this as an example. Like, all right, just because you got money, you ain't got to show it. Just because you got guns, because you got muscle, just because you got cars, you ain't got to show none of that stuff. Just be content with having it. That's too many of us are just too, boastful and braggadocious. I get it, it feels good, and sometimes you want to do it, right? But do not do it because you're attracting all the wrong type of energy when you do that. When you showing stacks of money, when you boasting, you bragging. And another, I get it in a certain instance because you're an artist and you got to do it to a certain extent. I 100% get that. I would never discourage that. But when you start antagonizing and giving your enemies extra fuel and extra, ammunition to come and get you, man, I think it could end up in a bad situation. So condolences, man, to Rollie Bands, whatever his real name was. Now his daughter, is left without a father. And that's the thing, too, man. The other side of this is like, come on, man. We got to start practicing forgiveness on each other. We have to. We got to start letting people slide, bro. All right, no, I'm going to let this one slide. It ain't worth to take a dude's life. And I don't know what happened in the streets, right? I don't know what he did. If he did anything, I don't know. But at some point in time, you got to sit back and say, it ain't worth it. It ain't worth it to take another man out. They got a family to take care of, right? It's not worth it. But hey, I'm just, I'm just talking, right? But that's exactly 100% what I feel out of my heart. I had to put it out there, for you guys today. Hopefully somebody gets something from this video. Sad, sad story. Rest in peace to Rollie Bands. His family, mom, dad, whoever may come across this video, because you never know who listens to your video. I sincerely hurt for this young man today. And to the guy, the person that did it, man, you're gonna have to meet. You're gonna have to meet you. You're gonna suffer the consequence, the tough, rough consequence now of making a silly decision that's gonna cost you the rest of your life, or sometime, but possibly even death. This is now you made your bed. Now you must sleep tight in it to the person who did this, man. So, with that being said, man, and this comes from a guy who lost people throughout his life to violence, to gun violence, to this, to that. Done lost people. So this ain't coming from a dude that's just on the internet talking. Nah, I've actually been there and done that, right? But nevertheless, man, make sure you guys, do what you do. Always, man, the channel is Hip Hop UN, or the website is hiphopun.com. The channel is Hip Hop News Uncensored for all your latest hip hop news. Make sure you guys follow us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. All those links are in the description box. And to stay updated with the latest hip hop news, like I said, the website is hiphopun.com. Last thing, if you guys want to advertise right before each video, email us right now at advertise@hiphopun.com. That's advertise, the word advertise, at hiphopun.com. Rest in peace, Rollie Bands. It's your brother, God. Overnight. Peace.